Just going to get started. People are coming in. Getting started. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar, The Good Life Abroad in Split, Croatia. I'm really excited to have you here. Before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. Today's webinar is being recorded. It will be emailed to everyone attending tomorrow. Not today, tomorrow. So hang tight. You'll get a recording of the webinar by email if you've registered for this. So without further ado, we're going to get started. At the end of our conversation with our community manager, we'll have times for question and answers, and you can submit a question by using the Q&A icon at the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. So you can just hold your questions or you can write them in, but we won't get to them until the end of the discussion part of it, and we'll move into questions and answers, and you'll type in your questions. Okay. So without further ado, I'm jumping right in and like to introduce our community managers, Stefanie and Mateo, who are live with us from Split at this very moment. So I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about you.
Well,
Ladies first.
thank you. I'm Stefanie J. I am a Croatian American. I'm born and raised in Southern California. Very involved in the Croatian community, especially with the 55 plus community over there for many, many years. And Mateo, take it from there.
Hi, my name is Mateo Juric. Born, raised, Split, Croatia. Professional water polo player. Once upon, at the age of 20, got my scholarship at USC, University of Southern California in Los Angeles. Accepted it. Spent there several years at the USC and met my wife today, Stefanie. Like she said, very involved into the community. And about 20 years after, we moved back to Split, Croatia, with three children then, and now we have four children, one born here in Split, Croatia. And we've been in the tourism industry for since 2006 when we, and then ever since, that was the reason why we moved back. It was the growing industry, and I'm very happy that we came back, and I hope Stefanie as well. Kids love it here. They have dual citizenships, but for some reason they didn't mind. They didn't want to go back. So we all here waiting for you.
Yes, we're very happy to be part of the Good Life Abroad.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, and as a father of kids about to go to college, I just wonder why my kids can't get scholarships like you did to University of Southern California.
Oh, don't worry, just practice 24 hours a day and water polo only. So very
For
unique
20
sport.
years.
Yeah, for 20 years. That's it. Yeah.
Sounds good. Great. Thanks. Thanks, Mateo and Stefanie. One of the things I wanted to talk about is like what makes Split special. I was in Split back in November of last year. It was in November, and uh, the water was warm and people were in it, and it was like amazing. And I'd never been to Croatia before, and much less Split. And I was really struck by how much people were outdoors and doing things, and the history that was like so rich, but also it's not just stuck in time. It's a very active and dynamic place, um, and very beautiful naturally. I mean, just stunning, right? There's the island and there's water, and very beautiful water, and then the hills. So I thought, wow, this is a very unique place on Earth, and it has an interesting combination of things that I think would be great for people who are interested in the good life abroad, right? So the natural beauty, the lifestyle, history, culture, food, and I was, with Mateo and Stefanie, and they actually took me out to eat and had some amazing food. Uh, and I just thought this has it all. This place has it all, and we must do a program here. And what's also very unique to other places where the Good Life Abroad is that there's a lot of islands right off the Dalmatian coast that are pretty easy to get to, and we'll talk more about that later in the presentation. But for someone who is into outdoor exploration, this is the place. Some places, I love Florence, Italy. It's great to see art and to museums and cathedrals. Split has some of that, but Split is really much more, it's more about what's outside and the living culture that's out there. So I love Florence, but I love Split for different reasons. And I think that's really beautiful. If I'm missing anything, Mateo, feel free to jump in and correct me. But
No,
that was
it's okay. You can say like Split more. We will forgive you. So we understand. Well,
no,
we do because we moved back to Split, not Florence. But yes, as much as Italy has to offer, like you said, in Florence and other places, the Split, it's fairly a small place. Nearly 200,000 people only. This is the second largest in Croatia. So that being said, it's everything that you want to have on a smaller scale. The water we call Adriatic. We sit on the Adriatic Sea, which Adriatic Sea divides. It's in between Croatia and Italy. So Italy is right across. With overnight ferries. So, and no surprise to me, and now to you, and hopefully for a lot of you on this call. Now we know why Roman Emperor Diocletian decided to build his residence. As a matter of fact, that was his vacation retirement home. Split, Spalato in Italian, was built by Roman Emperor Diocletian as his retirement home.
so
And
you're
he
saying
could
is
have
that Diocletian was really the first Good Life Abroad member in
There you
Split.
go.
he
There you
he
go.
didn't even know.
Yeah.
And now he's
I love it.
happier looking at us talking about him. So yeah, so being a Roman emperor, as you might, understand, he could have built anything anywhere as he liked, but he decided to build right here where we are today, and we are very thankful, not to have everything that we have. So 17 centuries old, that's what we are. 1,700-year-old settlement. With Diocletian Palace being the UNESCO protected World Heritage Site, it's probably one of the most preserved sites in the world, with a cathedral that we have St. Domnius and a walk. Riva is our seafront promenade where everybody gathers. Like Las Vegas says, it's strip. We have our Riva, where everything happens there, celebrations, gatherings. It's more like a runaway. You sit there and watch people dress up, I'm not going to say like Monte Carlo, but a little better version of it.
Thanks, Mateo. Yeah, let's look at the city
Yeah,
of Split itself. So as you can see here, where my dot is Diocletian Palace. It's in Croatian, and the yellow area is sort of the historic center. Now, don't mistake the historic center for the city. This is one small part of the city. The city extends out. There's a lot of great things in the city. But this is the historic center right here. Uh, this is one of the local beaches where people go to. I don't know. How do you pronounce that, Mateo?
we call it Bačvice Beach. Very beautiful, very popular. As a matter of fact, a couple of days ago, I was there, playing a local game, Pizzigin, which is very unique. You'll love it. It's very entertaining. That's one of the sports we play here. There's no winners or losers. Everybody wins because it's a fun game to play. So I was there, and water is already getting warm. Adriatic Sea, and it's a shallow, sandy beach, very popular, and that's our local spot. Yes.
And if I remember correctly, this is also where I think we had lunch, and there's little restaurants along here. It's just like a really nice place to hang out. And the Riva that Matteo was mentioning is here. It's this strip right here along the waterfront, right in front of the historic part of town. And I'll probably get this wrong, but I believe up here is a huge park on a hill that's really nice for a walk. We went up there one day. Is that correct, Matteo? Right up in this
That,
direction?
that's correct. That's where we had our coffee with the view.
That's right. That's right. Now, the thing
Yeah,
I want to highlight about this is from if you walk from, let's say, over here all the way to over here, maybe this is 25 minutes. I mean, Matteo, correct me if I'm wrong, or Stephanie, but this is all very walkable, this whole area. Would you agree?
yeah, easy to walk. Absolutely. There's the Split is also very attractive when you just want to walk around. So along the shoreline, which is, most interesting part, needless to say that you can walk to the UNESCO protected heritage sites and those small streets, pebble streets, uh, cultural monuments, all that very, very, if somebody into history and culture right there. But walking for us, they like the view and they like the sea, the water is there. Yes, it's an easy 20 few minutes walk, but you can continue further down. Either way, you can go around the peninsula Marian Hill, which is the green lungs of Split. Um, I mean, you can go with the running trails, biking, hiking. You can go on top of the Marian Hill and enjoy the view. There's a little zoo on top if you want to see local, domestic animals. Nothing, no elephants or giraffes here, but yeah, chickens and donkeys are there. If you want to say hi to them, it's very green, very enjoyable. A lot of us professional sports clubs, they train there. A lot of training ground. And on the other side, you can continue walking. We're actually building a beautiful area in Žnjan, the beach is Žnjan, which is, if you continue for next probably 15 minutes, everything's just under construction, should be done shortly with a lot of parks, a lot of sandy areas, basketball, beach volleyball, restaurants, bars, everything's around it. And that's what I personally like Split the most about is everything's close, everything's walkable. We barely use car, and I think that's to me the most inviting about Split, being all very safe. As a matter of fact, these days safety it's very important in this world that we live in. And Split, I feel very safe. Our kids, we have 4 kids, 3 are older, and they go out with their friends, and they come home, and we don't worry about them. It's a very safe place to walk around, even at night or early morning. So we are very pleased.
Yeah. And as you can see from the travel times down below, I mean, the airport is only 30 minutes away. It's really not that far. Uh, and sort of wherever you're going to be living, it's probably, an 8 to 10 minute walk to the Riva. And so again, the city is just really perfect for exploration on foot. No need to rent a car or anything like that. Um, the housing, your apartments are all kind of scattered sort of around in the same general area. I would say it's probably a 15-minute walk. No, let's probably say at the maximum 15-minute walk sort of to Diocletian's Palace in the center, right? So people are sort of scattered around, just around the edge of the historical center. Some people are a little bit in the historical center, but everyone could pretty easily meet up in 10, 12-minute walk sort of near Diocletian's Palace. So even though you're apart, you know your friends are in walking distance from each other. Let's take a look at some of the apartments. I mean, one thing I'll say is, you know, Split is different from all of our other cities in that it's, most of our Good Life Abroad programs are all in Western Europe, in cities, in bigger cities that have big housing property management companies with hundreds of apartments under management. Split is different. There's no company that has 100 apartments under management that we could just, sign up and get a bunch of apartments. So we have been, going through and meeting and vetting. Personally, Mateo has been knocked on so many doors to vet different apartments that are available for rental, but because we've had to do it one by one. So I will say that the apartments are all very different from each other, but we've vetted them to make sure they're clean, safe, comfortable, nice. But I wouldn't say this is the luxury place. This is like a great place to have a nice, clean, safe, comfortable home base and go out and explore. So let's kind of look at that. There's this one luxury option that we have as an upgrade. But really, for the most part, the other ones you can see they're kind of different from each other. Design is a little bit different. But we've looked for that safe, clean, comfortable living room. They still all have living room. They have high-speed Wi-Fi, smart televisions. In this case, you see a washer. Some that have washers do not have dryers. It's very common across Europe to dry your clothes on a drying rack. And some places that don't have washing machines, because not every place has a washing machine, we're providing a laundry service. Is that correct? Do you want to speak to that, Mateo, at all?
Yes. Well, our goal was to provide, like you said, Andrew, a clean, fairly new or remodeled recently apartments. They'll provide a nice, clean place to stay for a month. And if there is no dryer, like you said, it's very common here to hang clothes on a drying rack. But if I remember, just there's the one apartment that doesn't have a washing machine, and actually in their courtyard there's a washing machine. You can just walk down the stairs and take care of your laundry. So most of them have it. Anything else? I mean, you see them.
We've also provided a property manager to each apartment that speaks English, so nobody has to be worried if they do need some assistance with the property. You can reach out to them directly and they'll come and fix or take care of anything and speak English with you. So that's something that's very important, that you can communicate with them. And like Mateo said, there's a courtyard that is shared by the 2 or 3 apartments that you can wash your laundry outside in the courtyard. And then there's that wash machine, and dryers are not local around here. It's not a common thing to have.
And so I will say one thing that I like about these. I mean, you could see from the photos, they're all very different, right? This is not some standard corporate housing. Everything's designed the same in neutral gray. But what I like about it is because it really is, these are local apartments. And one of the ideas behind the Good Life Abroad was that you live like a local. And this is this is a local neighborhoods, local apartments, and therefore it means not American. And I think that's part of the experience, kind of a little bit out of the comfort zone if you're used to coming from a 2,000 square foot home with a lot of space. This is a European apartment. But as you said, Mateo and Stefanie have taken a lot of effort to try to find good, clean, safe apartments, and also provide these property managers who can help and support you. So if there is something that's an issue, and inevitably there always are issues in at least one of the apartments, that we will address it as quickly as we can. Now, we don't own these apartments, we don't control the whole building, but we have worked hard to find these apartments.
And if you don't mind, Andrew, just a little detail.
Yeah.
For that same reason, you see a lot of people outside. And as you noticed when you came, it's all very live. Everybody's moving, a lot of bikes around, a lot of walking, a lot of running, jogging. And we are used to not spending a lot of time inside, but being outside, because weather is really comfortable. It's very warm. Like I said, I already swam 3 times within the last couple of weeks. We were in the water. So, and the sea is getting warmer. The weather is very comfortable. It was 76.8 yesterday, at around 80s already. So you know, we just love to be outside, and
Yeah,
for that
I don't
reason,
remember if it was you or someone else when I was in Split said, you know, it's different than in America. In America, you say, "Oh, invite people over to my house. We all go hang out at the house." And they say, "No, no, no. We get together. We meet outside. We meet at a plaza, at a cafe. Like we don't. It's not come hang out at the house. It's hang out in some kind of common space. I'll meet you at this place." And that's more of the cultural thing of getting together. So it's not like big houses with lots of people coming over.
Exactly. It was a difference for us to move here, especially for me, my whole life in America, to come over here and to adjust to not having people over for coffee and dessert or people over for dinner. You always met outside for coffee. You gathered outside for dinner or lunch. It's just completely different. And when you come over here, you have to immerse yourself into the culture and just realize that it's just a different lifestyle, as people here don't use microwaves. If you have 10 apartments, 9 out of 10 won't have it. And it'll be really unique for one apartment to have that. And there'll be a whole story about why they have it. It's just not common here. It's just a different world. But that's the whole point of the Good Life Abroad, is to have an experience of feel a different culture and how they live and walk through their shoes. And it's really interesting and, really opens your eyes. It's a wonderful experience.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great point, Stephanie. So let's talk about like, what are we going to do? So we're in this beautiful place, a lot of history. I'm hearing all these great things, but what are we actually going to do? That is what you're thinking. Um, like all of our programs, we have the Tuesday lunch club. And, before you think, lunch, just lunch, like what's the deal with lunch? The Tuesday lunch club is really, has a couple of different purposes behind it. And I wanted to kind of unpack that for a second. The lunch club is specifically designed, one, to expose you to the local food. And often what we'll do is we'll pre-order some different things that you might not know. You get the menu, maybe it's in Croatian, maybe it's in English, but you're still like, what is it exactly? And Mateo and Stephanie will explain like, oh, this is this and this is that. So then you're like, oh, I'm learning the cuisine. So then when you go to the restaurant by yourself, you're like, oh, I know what that is and that is, and I can be more adventurous. So one, it's like an educational part. Two is we also intentionally choose the restaurants to take you to places that you might not go to on yourself. This is not like the tourist restaurant, by the cruise ship terminal. This is like taking you to places that are unique. Maybe we choose a place to intentionally pull you out to a different part of town. Maybe we take you, I think we may be even going out to Castella and doing something there. And so we're using this to also introduce you to the city, but using food as the bait to lure you out there. And maybe my favorite reason for the lunch clubs is that it's on Tuesdays. Now, we don't have activities programmed on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And so Tuesday, you come together and you haven't seen a lot of your friends for 4 days, and they've been out doing adventures and exploring. And it's so fun to come like, hey, so what have you been up to? Oh, you went to Dubrovnik. Oh, you went to some island. Oh, you stayed in town, but you found like, the best gelato place or whatever. Like, and everyone's sharing its stories and swapping adventures. And that's what makes Tuesday Lunch Club really fun for me. So that's, I think, one of my favorite things that's sometimes overlooked because people just think, oh, we're just, having a sandwich or something. Um, and happy hours is on Thursday and that's sort of before you take off, and it's kind of a nice way to come together as a community and, sort of build those friendships a bit and connect. And it's in a very laid back kind of way. Um, and also with happy hours, I think we choose places intentionally, again, to take you to different places, show you really interesting local venues that you might not discover on your own. And I know I've seen the details of Stefanie and Mateo's program, some very cool places that you're going to go to along the way. But Mateo, Stefanie, why don't you just kind of tell a little bit more about some of the things that they're going to do?
Well, I'll say a little bit, then you'll jump in. Like the Tuesday Lunch Club, it's a really exciting time, I agree, where we get together, for all of you as a community, get together and talk about where you've been, maybe plan something to do together. There's really no time limit on it. You can stay as long as you want. And then after that, you go, what's wonderful about that is you don't have to leave after Tuesday lunch. You can go grab another coffee at the Riva. You can go for a walk after that, and it's really exciting. And then on Wednesdays are our activity days. We have some special activities planned out for our group that's coming and for our future groups that are coming. And Thursday sort of like catching up on how Wednesday was and recovering from our Wednesday activities and getting to know each other and making lifelong friendships and, you know, building a foundation with new people. And it's really wonderful to do that. And I think, you know, the older that we get, the harder that it is. And this is a wonderful way to make new friendships from wherever anybody comes and just stay connected. And you want to say something further for like the sunset cruise and the tour?
Yes, I mean, every day is can be unique, and that's the idea of creating something that we know about that you know average tourist wouldn't know about. I mean, we live here, we breathe here. You know, we are here 24/7, and I love it. So why not share something that we know about Split and surrounding area that you might not know about? For example, Sunset Cruise happens to be um, uh, one of our favorite things to do. And as a matter of fact, your niece, right?
Well, actually, my first
Yeah, yeah.
cousin, Matthew, proposed to his wife on the Sunset Cruise, and we took him on it. And it was really epic. And everybody in California, just like, well, all our friends and family, just, it was exquisitely beautiful. And the sun was setting, and it was just all super gorgeous. It's truly a beautiful experience. And you know, wind's in your face and you're drinking wonderful wine and the islands on one side and the Rivas on the, you know, Splits on another side. And it really is a beautiful moment, the Sunset Cruise. I think everybody, all the groups that when we go on, it will truly enjoy it and have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
We can't promise that you'll get proposed to, though, but
Oh
we
yeah,
can
we
promise
can.
you'll have a great time.
And that's okay. She's proposed already. Okay. Yeah, Sunset Cruise, one of the activities we like to include, walking tour, historical. We have being a very popular place, obviously, professional tour, guided tours, hour and a half or so, to show you from you know, professional standpoint, all the historical spots, landmarks. Like I said, 17 centuries old settlement, so plenty to learn about. Um, Wine in Dalmatia, we are very fortunate and blessed to have probably one of you know the highest quality wines, local wines. You know, Stefanie's father makes wine, white and red. We have friends on islands that make wine. I mean, my family used to do it, so we are very spoiled here when it comes to wine quality. And as a matter of fact, in Castella is where actually Zinfandel, as well known, Zinfandel came from originally, but I'm not going to spoil all of that, so I'll leave that for a historical, a professional tour and one of the wine tasting activities that we plan to take you to, so you can learn more about wine here in Croatia. Split has also a fortress on top of, you know, near Split Cliffs, where actually for those of you who liked or watched show called what's the Game of
Game of
Thrones?
Thrones, yeah.
Yeah, King's Landing, Game of Thrones. It, you know, for large part was filmed in on a cliffs fortress, which we also have a tour. They'll take you around and show you historical part of that. You know, you mentioned Dubrovnik before. That's also where the a lot of series were made, King's Landing. And needless to say, 1,100 islands are along the Dalmatian coastline. 1,100, yes, you heard it well. So pick one or two, or maybe more. You know, the closest one is island of Brač, where furthest is Lasto. So very well connected by ferries, by speed catamarans. A lot of people like to go to Dubrovnik and they take a you know speed catamaran, and you on the way to Dubrovnik, you know you not sit in the car, you actually on a sea, stopping at 3-4 different spots, island of Hvar or Korčula, where it's well known for Marco Polo. So yeah, one of the best ways to see islands is obviously by the boat and ferry. We also have a lot of friends that have boats that provide daily excursions to these islands. There's 3-island excursion, 5-island excursion, Blue Cave, V's, where Mamma Mia was made, film Mamma Mia. And I'm going to stop at this so I don't spoil your excitement and experience.
That's great. Thank you, Mateo. And I think the takeaway from there is it's really easy to visit nearby islands if you want to do so. I think that's the big takeaway. Um, one of the things I put this slide in because so a lot of cities that the Good Life Abroad is have like certain iconic things that everyone's like, I must go see this, Sagrada Familia in Spain, the, Uffizi Gallery in Florence. Split hat, I think Diocletian Palace is spectacular, right? I think beyond question, it's like, but it's, for me, Split isn't just about going to see a thing. It's about a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle city. It's a place where you can really slow down a bit and be outdoors and doing things. And it's very calm, great weather, cafes. So I encourage you if you decide to join us in Split, to sort of take off your tourist hat. The tourist hat says, how many things can I pack in to see, as quickly as possible? And to put on your local hat and say, I'm going to just kind of take in this lifestyle and find the local rhythm of life. And I guarantee you that it might be challenging because the local rhythm of life is a little more relaxed and laid back than, the go, go, go of life in North America. But you'll be richly rewarded for doing so. Uh, like Mateo mentioned a game he played it in the water. Try it out, or go for a walk, or go for a bike ride. The beauty of being there for a month is you're in no rush. If you want to take a day to sit at a cafe and read a book, you can do it. And don't worry, the waiter won't throw you out because unlike in North America, they're pretty chill. You can hang out for a while and just have a coffee and read a book. It's a really different lifestyle, and I love it because I'm not retired. I'm still working, obviously. And so I sometimes need to turn down the volume and just take it. So to me, this is one of the great lifestyle cities. Um, and some of our people who are interested in the good life abroad, they come to us because they're actually thinking about moving abroad, becoming an expat, and say, I'm looking maybe to go move to Europe. I want to leave the United States, either full time or maybe part of the year, and I want to move to Europe. And this is like a great place to consider if that is something because it's just a very different lifestyle. And you could do all the things you love doing at home, you can do them here, but in a much more chilled out way. So I just wanted to point that out. Here's just some imagery so you can get a sense of the feel of the place. And these are, real photos. The water really is flat, and every day I was there, very surprised at how beautiful it was. Mateo talked about getting to islands very easily. There's a bunch of islands. Do you want to add anything, Mateo, to any weekend getaways, things people could do on the weekend if they wanted to get around Croatia?
Oh, absolutely. Again, fortunately, we are surrounded by beautiful nature. Split is very centrally located. It's in the middle of Dalmatian coast. So we are only maybe 3 hours to Dubrovnik by car, or maybe 4.5 by ferry. Then up north, you can go visit Zadar or Plitvice Lakes National Park, very popular waterfall. But we also have a small version of Plitvice Lakes, and only an hour away inland, with beautiful green, well preserved, recently updated national park, Krka Falls, the waterfalls. If you like a greenery as opposed to blue, because we used to blue by the water, and then also we have a green part, and so that would be a beautiful getaway. There's a lot of, like I said, bike trails, hiking trails, daily excursions, if you want to rent a, bike. Yeah, bikes are actually very easily accessible. Andrew, you saw yourself, there's a local bike service called City Bike, I believe. And I think recently I pay only 10 euros or so, and I'm able to use it every day for 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes, and I can get from one place to another place. And I just put a bike at, you can download the app and you see all the locations where they have the charging stations. You have battery bikes that run on battery. But yeah, beautiful, detail that you can utilize to explore more, or just, ride it easily around. Wine tasting, a lot of places to do wine tasting if you like that. Restaurant, traditional. Every island is different. So, we can definitely do many things in and around Split. Anything else?
I wanted to say for a getaway for the weekend is if you wanted to do a long weekend and you wanted to do something opposite from the islands, you could always go to the capital in Zagreb. It's a very easy and convenient just to jump on the bus, or you can take the train. If you don't feel like driving. It's also very beautiful up there, and you could just go up and stay one night and have a wonderful experience and come back down. The wonderful part about Croatia is it's 100% possible to plan your weekend to go up north or to go down south and then come back to Tuesday lunch and tell everybody about it and show it off. And, it's just really easy to get around. Public transportation is really wonderful. And don't worry about getting lost or not having help at the bus station or train station. Everybody, I want to say about 90% speaks English, like in a way that you can understand and that they can understand you. Unless you find somebody really super, forgive me, very elderly, everybody speaks English. You should feel very comfortable to get around to wherever you're planning to go or whatever your goals are that you want to reach. Mateo and I can help you reach all of those goals when you come in.
Yeah, I think that's the key point. These getaways are just to give you an idea, but really, if you join the program, part of it is you'll sit down with Mateo and Stefanie and talk about like, what would you like to see or do during your time, and they can give you guidance. Oh, I want to go to this place that I heard about. Do I need to rent a car? Should I take a bus? Can I take a train? They can give you guidance and point you in the right direction. So that is, one of the beautiful things of our community managers. Um, Let's move along. Weather, Mateo mentioned he's been in the ocean a few times. It's definitely warming up, but you can see that there's highs and lows, averages. For most of, summer does gets a little hotter, but I mean, really, outside of the winter months, this is very, very pleasant place to be. Um, Not too hot, not too cold. Maybe in the evening, like a light sweater. Just a you know, absolutely Goldilocks, I call it, right? Not too hot, not too cold, just right kind of place. So, next steps. So, okay, you're like thinking, this looks great. I can't wait to go. What do I do? Let's make this happen. Um, you can go to our website, thegoodlifeabroad.com, and click book now. And it's $395 per person to reserve your spot. 30 days later, 50% is due, and then 100 days before you go, the other 50%. So kind of half up and then front and half toward the end. And you can see that there's no cancellation fee if you cancel 120 days or more before you go. So many people are, book 9 months, 10 months, a year in advance. So we understand life happens, and if something comes up and it's a few months before, you can cancel without a cancellation fee, and then we can move your deposit to another date, um, and not a problem there. Let's jump into some Q&A. There were some questions in here that were related to the getaways we were just talking about. So let's start there. Is it easy to rent a car?
Question?
Yeah, that's the question.
Very easy.
That's
Um,
very easy.
numerous rental cars. This is a very popular spot. Split is very popular spot, especially during the summertime. So all kinds of rent-a-car companies around. So, I mean, some major ones and some local ones. Absolutely, yes.
I wanted to say, please check with your insurance company. A lot of times you can get a good deal through your insurance company in the States, and you'll get a discount through them when you rent your car over here. I have a lot of family when they come from California that go through their insurance company to rent their cars over here.
And then related to that, someone was asking about, do they need an international driver's license to rent a car? Or is that, can they just rent it with their US license?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Not a
Yeah,
problem.
and
So
make sure you tell them to give you automatic stick
stick shift.
shift, right? Stick shift.
Yes, you have to request an automatic. That is not common over here. So that is very important to put that request in, and it will change the quantity of cars that you are available to pick from. Because stick is the norm here, not automatic.
But more and more, there's the newer cars are more automatic, but yeah, old school people are, we all used to it, stick shift, not like in the States. So yeah, automatic, just make sure you tell them and
Yeah.
no problem.
And that setup, I mean, obviously there's renting a car is an option, but if I wanted to go to the major places like Dubrovnik or some of the islands, I don't need to rent a car, right? It seemed like the whole country is pretty well connected with train and bus and other ways of getting around, such as ferries. Can you speak to that?
Yes, if you would like to go, for example, Dubrovnik, it's you just simply jump on the bus, and you'll be there probably within 5 hours. Easy, comfortable ride. And also, what's interesting, every time they drop you off at the bus station, you probably around the center anyway, so you don't need to worry about parking or not being comfortable with the new city or town. Where can I park? Is it okay to park here? Is it enough space? Because even though May is probably the most comfortable month because it's not as busy. Come July and August, it's really really busy. So May is beautiful month to be here. It's warm. And it's a lot of restaurants are open. Everything's just vibrant, but it's not too overcrowded like July and August, as well as October is really comfortable, and we love those pre and post touristy months. So we really don't need to rent a car unless you really want to explore on your own, and be many places within a short amount of time. Also, ferry is very well connected. Split is, like I said, a central location. It's the busiest airport in Croatia during the summer. Flights are from everywhere. So ferries, speed catamarans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even private drivers. We have services that some of our guests use. It's a private driver. So instead of renting a car, you just we have several drivers that we like to work with, and they become your drivers. So say I like to go to Dubrovnik, and I don't want to rent a car, and I don't want to go to bus, so just make it quick, and so that's an option as well. For a couple $100, that's an option as well.
There are no trains on the islands, just to make note of it. So that's more inland. So you can take the catamaran or ferry, very convenient. Right when you get off on any island, there will be a bus there to help you, and they do again speak English to help you with that. And we can help you when you decide which island you want to go to. Because on Brač, there's one ferry that goes on one side, another ferry that goes to the other side, because it is such a large island. So those are all those details we can help you plan out. But it is very convenient. And a car is more if you want to just, like Mateo said, you want to hit a lot of spots inland. And if you go to the island from, let's say, Friday to Monday, and you really want to explore it, maybe that way. But really, the bus transportation is fantastic. It really is.
And I would say, like, even in the city of Split, getting around, there's buses
Yes.
that cover the city, so it's very easy to once you learn the routes to get from one end of the city on public transportation. Would you say?
And you'll realize you won't even need a bus when you're actually in the city because everything's very convenient. If you just for small things like a supermarket or to go to the butcher or to go to the post office, all of these small local everyday events in your life are very convenient around you. And honestly, parking is very difficult. The Split was not made for cars. So I just want everybody to remember that. So bring in your, tennis shoes and your shoes that you've broken into and just walk around and you'll find the most wonderful stores and wonderful people. But if you want to go further, the public transportation is easy and we can show you the app that you use and it helps you know which bus to get on, at what time to get it, to get to the bus. So it's a really walking bus city.
Yeah, great. There's a question here. We had the opportunity to visit Split before. It is indeed beautiful. That said, we learned that quite a few of the buildings did not have heat. Do the apartments have heat?
Well, yes, all the apartments that will be available will have an AC heat unit. All of them.
Great.
Not all the locals have it. And because a lot of them don't believe in that AC heat, they think if you talk learning and living here for a very long time, a lot of people think that you get sick from having air conditioning and don't put it in their apartments because they think that's, you're going to get sick and it's better to open your window and just have the cool air in. And they really believe that you're supposed to go through 4 seasons over here, that it's healthy for your body to experience the 4 seasons of it. And when it's winter, they don't even use the heating system. A lot of it, they have a wood burning stove that provides heat for your home, which a lot of them believe is healthier than using an AC heat unit. But all of the apartments for the Good Life Abroad will provide you an AC heat unit. So if you decide to come in March, April, May, and you feel like, oh, it's May, but I feel a little chilly tonight, turn it on and heat up your home and you'll be comfortable. Or if you feel like, wow, we got a heat wave and it's April, it's okay. Turn on your AC and you'll be comfortable. So that's not anything for anybody to worry about. There will be an AC heat unit provided in all of the apartments.
Great. Sticking on the topic of apartments, there's a question, are there any apartments that do not have stairs? And I believe that, well, I'll let you speak to it, Mateo and Stefanie.
Currently, well, we can only speak for our May group that is coming, a couple of weeks. No stairs at all. Maybe there's one has 3 stairs. There's no such a thing as just walk in kind of a thing. But yeah, one apartment that it comes to me as 3, 4 stairs. Then another one is maybe 5, 6. There's one that is 15.
Well, there's usually a step to get into the apartment building, no matter what level it is. So when you have a step, and like there is one apartment that is that in between, it's called, so for here, it's ground level. And then there's just 2 steps to go into the apartment, but inside the apartment, it's flat. But not I don't think I've seen here a building where it's with no step to get into the building.
Okay, that's great. That's helpful. Thank you.
Unless we pick one with the elevator that you just walk in and you go to the elevator, but so far we don't have any of those.
Question, should you have cash or credit cards common?
Yes.
Credit cards.
Both.
Both.
Yeah, well, cash is still the king here. So the cash gives you more options. And you experience yourself and Mike and Heidi when they came here to visit. There are some places prefer cash, but I would say it's 50% of them take cash only, maybe 40, but the rest will take credit cards as well. So with cash, you can choose and pick more. There are ATM machines everywhere. Literally everywhere. And if you do have some cash, if you're thinking of taking cash to experience more, then there's a exchange office that we like to go to with the highest rates. It's in the town in the middle, very convenient. So we like to, take our US dollars and exchange them into euros at the particular office, which we would, gladly share with you and take you there. So that's the highest exchange rate in town. So we'll, we definitely gonna show you there. So yeah. And then also, if you bring cash and you don't, for some reason, don't spend it all, you just exchange as much as you think you will need for a short amount of time for next, several days or week. And so that way you don't need to exchange back into US dollars going back home. So just go as you please, step by step. So, but definitely bring some, have some more options.
Yep, sounds good. I would like to brush up on my beginner intermediate Croatian language skills before I arrive. Do you have any recommendations? So recommendations for learning Croatian before you arrive. Any thoughts? Duolingo perhaps, or
Well, I do have one nice lady that's in Split that is for learning Croatian. She's in the center. That was in the map earlier. She's between all of our apartments right now, 15 minutes from all of the apartments. But if you walking from all of the apartments located now, I'm not sure if she does anything online, but I could look into that when you sign up, and then that information could be provided to you about learning beforehand.
great. Yep, one of the things I was going to say is, when you arrive in Split, if you join us, sitting down with Stefanie and Mateo and saying, for example, I'm interested in learning Croatian. They can help connect you to local resources if that's something you want to do. So these are great questions, and I love when people want to learn the language, even if it's, a handful of phrases, because it really shows that you're interested in trying to learn about the culture through its language. So I think that's really great.
Yeah, very, very true, Andrew. And I'll just briefly touch on that. If you just know a couple of words, 4 or 5, but they're local, like Dalmatians, like we speak here locally, which is a little different than inland. People will look at you with sympathy. Very quickly, you're gonna be able to feel, even warmer local, because it's not an easy language to learn. So even little attempt to show the locals that you want to be part of it will take you a long way. So
Yeah.
for example, just say Bog hvala, which is thank you, see you later. Just very simple. And we actually finishing our kind of a little cheat sheet for comers for the group in May, where we're gonna use maybe 20 or so phrases and words that are common, and and we'll share that with everybody coming here for May, so they can come somehow prepared for the start.
Yeah. And I think this person wanted to learn before she came, but I would just say, literally, do a Google search, learn Croatian online. There's a number of apps. I mean, we're not a language learning company, but a quick Google search will show many different apps and sites, and Preply has tutors online that you can connect with. Lingoda has them. I mean, I'm not an expert on language learning online, but I know when you're there in country, we can connect you to those resources. But I think if you want to learn online, a quick Google search will pull up a lot of them. It's not really my area of expertise. Um, Tennis clubs, pickleball. When I was there, I know in Europe they don't really play pickleball. Paddle is the big sport, and I play paddle. But so I did a quick Google search when I was in Split, and I saw there's a tennis club. So tennis is popular, and I'm assuming there's some courts around town, perhaps?
Absolutely. So along the shoreline, there's a tennis club, mostly clay, outdoor, where Goran Ivanišević used to play. If some of you guys follow tennis, he's a Wimbledon champion. He's from Split, Croatia. So that's you have you have multiple, it's a center, so you have multiple courses to play. You can rent for an hour or two, a beautiful location near the sea, restaurant, cafe next to it nearby. You can actually sit, enjoy your favorite beverage and watch people play tennis. Not everybody's professional, and seniors like to play. We have a lot of friends that play tennis. So yeah, I mean, it's a lifestyle. A lot of people like to be surrounded by that, by the atmosphere. So yeah,
All right. We're
absolutely.
coming up on time here. So let's do a quick yes, no's. Is there Uber in Split?
Yes,
Yes, done. Is
Yes.
there an Apple store in Croatia?
not in Split.
Not in Split. Okay, let's move along. There's the person asked, what is the name of the tennis club? Do you know that? Do you happen to know the name, or I could do a quick Google search and pull it up?
But I think it's Split. It's called Tennis Club Split, and I'm sure there are several clubs here, but the most reputable, the location wise, the history, the tradition, it's Split, and I'm sure it's going to be by the one that it's by the sea. There's multiple clay courses.
Great. For those, there's some people in the webinar who are actually already booked for a specific trip, and they're asking very specific questions about their trip. I would ask you to just contact your program coordinator. Different trips, different program dates have slightly different details involved, so I'm not going to use the general webinar for that. So I would encourage you to contact your program coordinator, and then they can get back to you. And if you're and also when you're booked on any one of our trips, about a month before you go, you do a webinar, not really a webinar, a Zoom call with everyone else who's booked in it and Stefanie Mateo. And that's a good time to go ask very specific questions for your own, that specific trip. So I'm just gonna kind of let those move to the program coordinators and to the specific meetings. But I want to thank everyone for taking time to learn a little bit more about the Good Life Abroad. And I really want to thank you, Stefanie Mateo. I know it's night in Croatia and it's Good Friday, but I want to thank you for taking the time out to share this with all these people who are interested in going to Split. And thank you very much, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure, and I hope you guys learned something that you're excited about as much as we are when we came back. And we decided to move back to Split because it's very unique, beautiful place, and so we are very happy here. So
We hope to see all of you.
Thank you. I forgot one thing. The fact that today's Friday, and I said Good Friday, made me think of it. The recording will not go out until Monday. Our staff doesn't work over the weekend. Sorry. The recording will get sent out on Monday. So just a quick correction. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
If you have any other questions, contact our office, info@The Good Life Abroad. Mateo, Stefanie, thanks again. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
vidimo se. See you.